meditation beneath the shadows. I wasn't even planning on doing this, but here we go. Maybe we'll see a sunrise. I've been listening to a lot of Carl Jung, or AI versions of his work. I've read, skimmed, downloaded, listened, and contemplated and integrated. Now that I've only integrated a very small, I think, fraction of what's to come in a truly individuated and self-actualized human. And his work, his theories, his life, his process, what he did, what he left, his legacy is resonant with me. And I've expanded on a lot of what he talks about, especially as it relates to, being an empath or being a narcissist. And I've heard a lot from the empath's perspective, but I haven't really dug or looked for or seeking out, like, what is the perspective and the pain and the suffering of the narcissist? I mean, I think that we need to focus on that instead of focusing on all of the debris from, the empath-narcissist relationship. Let's look at it through the other lens. And anyway, I also believe that we are not just one. Everyone is everything. And it's, it depends on how big the sliver of the piece of the pie is for each label. So it all blends together. It's a blending, and it's, I think, the practice of becoming harmonious and balanced within oneself is where, the narcissist and the empath and the unhealthy masculine and the toxic feminine and, all of the bad, or construed as, well, no, let's not even say bad. That's why all of the labeled attributes of who makes us whole. Because allowing ourselves to be whole is the happiness. That's the happiness we are striving for. The happiness is not out there. The joy is not out there. It is within. It is within, and allowing ourselves to be our true, authentic nature without the fear of judgment holding us back. Because that's the trick, is we can rebel all we want. Like, I'll show them how artistic I am, or, and, rebellion might get you far, but it's not your soul's true, authentic nature or way of being. It wants to be proud. It wants to be an inspiration and inspired, like fueled from inspiration and authenticity rather than greed, fear, anger, rebellion, judgment. Like, I believe that is the key, the source, the portal to eternal, well, eternal while we're in this body, happiness. So oftentimes, or I don't know, oftentimes I wake up immediately, like, And sometimes it then immediately changes to, oh, the day, you know. and it can so quickly go to a programmed, gotta get up, make the coffee, I gotta get busy, I didn't do that yesterday, and oh my God, I still haven't done that from like many months, like what the fuck? And I start, I can physically feel my body go from 0, bliss neutral state, to screeching tires backing out of the driveway and full throttle down the fucking highway. And I don't do that anymore. Physically, but metaphorically, I'm still doing it. And it happens fast because I don't even have to get out of bed. It's just... And then here I am. Here I am. And I was allowing myself to come up here in the soft light and enjoy my morning, or a morning routine that will enliven me to the day, to warm me up, to wake me up. You know, some of my traditional vices, along with this, a morning musing. This is when I'm my most creative, or my most alive and awake, and speaking to my journal, opening up my diary is my medicine. And I'm willing to share and let people, you know, peruse through my diary. Well, I keep saying that I'm willing to do that, but yet I have been my own bottleneck on getting it out. But then if I give myself grace and humility, I have been creating, experimenting, not quite ready to unveil it fully to the world because there's been kinks in the system. It's not been flowing correctly. And, you know, I watch a lot of Tesla and Einstein. You know, and energy, I want my energy to be in flow. And I'm getting it there. I'm cleaning out the conduits, the passageways, and my morning musings, you know, I might even just do these live as I get more comfortable, and I will. And again, this was very spontaneous, so it's kind of fun that I just looked and I'm like, oh, we're gonna get the sunrise. So we're gonna greet the sunrise together, I guess, this morning. Maybe I'll dedicate this one to my good friend and spiritual instigator, Joan. Joan, I wonder if you're also watching the sun this morning rise above the horizon. You taught me, well, you didn't teach me, well, you're an inspiration, and this is how we evolve. I'm watching Joan. Look how much joy she gets from the sun, and the sun gives me energy, and maybe I'm up in the morning, why not greet it? So right here, right now, right here, right now, I want that, there we go. I think we'll see the sun really good from that angle. Plus it's out of my way, I won't accidentally knock it over. Okay, we're gonna do a little Melissa style meditation, morning meditations, a pre-sun salutation, a fluffing for the day, a grounding back into the earth after a nearly 10-hour relaxation, sleep, slumber, recharge. I'm going to raise my arms wide up to the ceiling, palms outstretched as far and wide as my fingers can stretch in every direction. My chest, my clavicles, shoulders burning with the reach. Up, straight up. Close your eyes. What shapes and colors and starbursts can you imagine? Visualize, see. Reach farther. Release down and shake, sway. Keep your feet grounded very firmly on the ground. I myself am wearing slippers. That's okay. Socks, bare feet, carpet, hardwood floor, concrete, pebbles, grass, whatever. Wherever your feet might lovingly land and be connected. The conduit between you and the earth. So plug in and reach down for some energy, some earthly energy this morning. Reach down and just imagine the sparks from the mycelium, the energy from the worms and the insects moving about. It's all down there. Could be 10 feet below, could be 10 inches. Whatever, it's there, and energy travels. So bring it. Rub your legs, bend down, whatever you're doing, just plug those feet in, the toes. Doesn't matter how far your feet are apart from one another. You could be in a horse stance or feet right next to one another, but plug in. Imagine that your feet are the sockets going into the wall to gather up the electricity for light and heat, the source to give us comfort and joy. We have 2 sockets that are open, and the earth is right there. The energy is in the earth. There is energy in the earth. Gather it up. Close your eyes. I hope you all heard that. That was my tummy greeting the day. Interesting. Okay. I am not on camera for several reasons. And I will probably start doing these on camera because this is not yoga, it's not Tai Chi, it's not an official practice. And even though I always use the term Latihan because that's how it was introduced to me, it really is just me, myself, and I behind my closed eyes. No judgment. And I'll open them and look around when I'm by myself. But the minute I start feeling the labels and feel the stories, I have to close my eyes and tap back into just my body. Just breathe, and then breathe. I call in my breath today. when I forget you, when I'm less mindful about my breath. I'm still moving, by the way. I'm moving very slowly. My feet are planted into the ground. My knees, my ass, my back, my shoulders. I'm swirling and gyrating, but my feet are always planted. Breath, I call you in. I so often forget about you. But today, breath day, breath day. Today is my breath day. I'm going to use you as my fuel. My fuel to inspire me, to feed me, to move me. Stretching and breathing, opening my chest as wide as it will go. And then I'm going to lower my hands down, clasp my fingers behind my back, straighten my arms, look up to the sky. Take a deep, full inhale as I possibly can and hold it for as long as I can in this very outstretched chest open and lean forward, fingers still clasped. Forward fold. Not gonna lie, I haven't moved nearly enough. Nearly enough. That's okay. That's okay. Here's how I rephrase that. I got a little out of practice on my body, taking care of my body in a movement way. And today, I remember. It's all about remembering. It's all about giving ourselves grace, remembering we are bombarded, and I'm going to now take a break. I'm going to have a drink of my coffee, one of my morning indulgences. I do at least lovingly make it now. I've created a little ritual. It's not super fancy, but it certainly is better than what I allowed it to get to for a while, which, I used to be, we're going to do a little coffee talk here, a little side coffee talk. Because everything that we enjoy has the potential to become a vice, a ritual, a routine, a habit. And then once it becomes a habit, it takes the joy out of it. It's then is like you're on autopilot to just get it done so that you can just get it in, whatever it is, And I find that a lot of things that I'm like, I've grown bored of this. It's no longer bringing me like as much joy, right? I've done too much, right? Ice cream, beading, like making beaded necklaces, creating art, painting or like repurposing furniture. I mean, I hit a threshold and then I start to lose my creativity on it, and I gotta put it away. And part of my human design as a manifesting generator that has been, I think, it's not, it's been shamed, right? Like, you never finish anything, or you start something and then you leave it out. And that is not an acceptable way of being, I guess, in this world. As kids, it's like we build these little masterpieces out of, these toys that we're given. Here you go, play with this. So then we play with it and we build something amazing. And then it gets kicked over and thrown aside. Like, pick that up, clean that up, put that away. That hurts our little souls, right? It hurts. And then we stuff that in our backpack, and we think that, our little masterpieces don't really matter. Someone might just come along and not see it for what we see it for and just kick it aside because they have something more important. Their preferences don't include our masterpieces. And we take that personally because as a kid we're helpless-ish, we don't have the sovereignty and empowerment to be like, you know what, this environment no longer serves me. Or, oh wow, mom must be in a bad mood today and she didn't really enjoy my masterpiece. That's okay, I'll build another one tomorrow. I mean, some kids have that resilience, but it takes a special little soul to be able to resilience that. Or their pain might be something else. Maybe their mothers are effusive with their love. So much love, so much doting and compliments, and she doesn't see the little boy that wants to be a boy, that wants to or that does have dark thoughts or destructive thoughts, whatever they are, as little kids. But if we're grown to, hey, you're nothing but good. So each person's wounding and little traumas are real to them. They're real. But now that we are adults with a lot of different tools and practices and communities that are available that have allowed a new way of healing ourselves, and also like healing, but then now the next evolution is like, okay, now how do we actually live and embody and integrate what we have learned over these awakening years? It is a cycle. It's a cycle, and it's evolution, and it's not the same for each era. They're all blended, and they have a little crossover with the Venn diagrams, but those little slivers are small, and then we've got so many options. Anyway, you can see my musings have meandered. The sun is not going to shine during this, but it's there. I might actually, next up, getting dressed and going outside to see it live and in person. All right. Thanks for joining me this morning on Tuesday, November 25th, a few days before Thanksgiving. And This is my morning musing, and I will welcome any feedback, me too's. This is a space for connecting and community, and I want to include and invite whoever this resonates with. You're welcome to join, to subscribe, to follow, to share, to provide your spark of inspiration and hope for all of us to wake up and love ourselves, conjure and cultivate and curate a sweet place within our own being, allowing our soul to be authentic and alive and authentic. I think I said that. All right, time to go. Peace out. This is Melissa with Journey Out of the Bottle. And I welcome you. Cheers.